Hey now, welcome back to Lone Star Mini Restoration. Today I am welding the boot floor to the bench and to the heel board. This past week, my family and I have been on a vacation away from home, so I've not been able to touch the Mini. However, while I was away, I did order a few things, one of which I ordered, get this, I came back to a wonderful surprise in that I ordered just a small 2-pound spool of wire, but what I got in the mail was a large 11-pound, not one, but two, which is, holy moly, I ordered two of these guys and I got two of these guys. So I've got enough wire to last me quite some time. And then today I went and filled because my gas bottle was basically empty. So I went and replaced it. And for 37 bucks, I got a whole new bottle. I mean, this bottle's almost 3 foot tall. I've got enough gas, I think, that should get me going a good ways. But also in the mail, what I ordered, all the holes in the bottom of the floor pan and the boot floor, they are all like 1 inch and 3/4 inches in diameter. And so I found these, rather than, yes, I could make them, I'm not going to put a rubber grommet in there because that's just, for me, for my taste, that's just an avenue for water to get in. I don't care how tight the rubber grommet is. So I went out and I found, I could have made these, but I found these pretty doggone cheap for like $5. I was willing to spend $5, which would save me more than enough time. Here, I'll pull one out. They fill the holes absolutely perfectly. So they're steel discs. They are, they're beautiful. So I got enough for this restoration and the one coming up. I got the larger holes and the smaller holes. I spent a total of about $8.50. Okay, maybe $10 with shipping, but that saved me a heck of a lot of time trying to fabricate these. And I've already check fit them. They fit the holes perfectly. So I'm going to use those to weld in, fill all the holes on the floor panel. But today, and I might do one of those today just to see what it's like. Well, it's already night here. I'm working in the shop at night. But right now I am focused on getting the boot floor welded in to the heel board and to the bench seat. I'm not going to film it minute for minute, but I'll show you my progress as I go. Okay, I have now had my first major screw up, if you will. Before I show you what I have done, I am going to mention my screw up. Now, I've got the Mini turned up right, so I can't film it. However, I went to put one of these discs in the boot floor, my very first one. It's a perfect fit for the hole, so in reality, all I did was put a piece behind it, a copper plate with its magnetized, put it behind the hole, and ideally, all you do is seam weld it, right? Holy crap. You know, I guess, I don't know what happened, but because I apparently am not up to speed with welding yet, I would fill in a seam, but I would blow another little hole outside of that. I'd fill in that hole and I'd blow another little hole outside of that. I ended up expanding this. I ended up just pushing holes out, refilling them, making another hole, refilling them, making another hole. So right now I am totally second guessing myself whether I'm going to fill all those holes. Maybe I'll just go with the the rubber grommet route. But I'm convinced I have to get better. I will have to try another one. In fact, I have been working, not days as in every day, all day, but for an hour or so each day after work, I've been coming out here and trying to correct this because a friend of mine, Mr. Dave with Classic Car Cave, he's like, it's only metal, right? Good thing it's only metal. You can replace it, you can fix it, whatever. And that is true, but when you're apparently at my novice level, it can be very frustrating. I will get there. But man, yeah. Anyhow, let me show you what I've done. From this angle, from the back passenger window, you can see what I've done. I have plug welded the bench to the top of the heel board. That is now a done deal, and it's pretty solid. What I've done is I've taken a rubber mallet to test it a little bit here and there. It's solid. I have also welded the boot floor to the bench, to the bottom flange. All that green is where I have sprayed the zinc primer into the seams. I sprayed it from both ways, and I got a lot of overspray coming out of the seams, which was good. That's what I wanted. But so that's what you see. So that sucker is not moving anywhere. The other thing that I did was I put in this, where's it at? Let me put a flashlight down here. I put in this bench support bracket. Again, I popped holes in the the main floor, and I did a plug weld on the bottom, but on the top, you can see there, I spot welded it. So that sucker, and I also took a rubber or a plastic dead stop hammer, and I tried knocking it around. That sucker's solid, so it's not going anywhere. Now, to make this, to give it a little bit more satisfaction, before I removed the old boot floor, you can see those black lines right there? The black lines, those black lines were when I traced the old bench seat. And you can see the new bench seat now lines up almost perfectly with those lines. My girls just interrupted me. What I am going to do is I have some longer tongs for my spot welder. From this edge of the bench to the heel board, to the top of the heel board, is roughly 7 inches. And I'm going to go back in between, just to give it an added measure of safety. I'm going to go back in between all of my plug welds, and I am going to spot weld that bad boy. So this sucker is going to be in solid. The other thing that I did was I went ahead, since the crossbeam is never going to be seen by sunlight, I'm going to have carpet. I'm going to have sound dampening. Then I'm going to have carpet over it. I went ahead and used POR 15 on this bad boy. I removed my jig system, or this section of the jig, what I call my A-lot jig right there. You can see the name on it. I removed that so that I could finish all sides of it. I put screws into all the holes so that because that POR 15 is pretty thick. But anyhow, and then I finished it. I put 2 coats on it, and that sucker is pretty sound right now. Everything's welded. It's now finished, and yeah, I'm good to go. It's probably the very next thing that I'm looking at is the rear arches. I'm going to start looking at how to remove these now that the boot floor is welded in and it's not going anywhere. Again, it's all about the journey for me. I am thoroughly enjoying this, and my hat here is basically a nod to my friend Mr. Pete Raymond. If you happen to see this at all, every time I think of 66, heck, I've got signs around my garage. I've got historic Highway 66 around my shop. Every time I think of 66, I think of my friend Pete. And then I've got a friend out there who deserves recognition. His name is Paul Robinson. He and I chat back and forth. He's on holiday right now, but when he's not, when he's back home, he also has a Mark I Mini that he's restoring. And so we kind of, I don't know that we trade ideas as much. However, we certainly bounce ideas off of each other, and he's a great guy. So, Paul Robinson, you're awesome, dude. And yeah, short and sweet. Thanks for joining my journey. Bye just now.